Hi everyone, my name is Corrie Thorne, spiritual healer. Um, I'm coming in to give a channeled message that has been unfolding for a while, and you can put this as a prediction wherever you want. I'm not a woman who knows everything about the biblical stories or the Bible or about anything, and I walk the middle road in life. And I always say, you know, I don't know. I would. I've come to a point in my wholeness and my awareness is that um, I could be wrong. I live as if I know nothing with the opportunity to be open to the channel. And Jesus does channel through me. And it's been a long time of allowing that to be something that I would want to just like spill out into the world and just say he does because of the judgment, because of how it's placed upon us. And I can no longer sit silent in that sense of the channel messages because it is destroying my heart. It's killing me to be silent. It's closing off my throat. And so recently, a lot of my channel messages have been coming through have been of, you know, darkness that we need to go through and that we're going to have to experience a darkness. And I just did the yearly forecast for 2021 and I speak about time. And I just keep hearing Jesus just saying to me, it's time, it's time. Like it's you can't focus on this. You have to just live in the moment. I can't tell you exactly when. I can't tell you what's when it's all going to happen, but you will have to experience darkness. And I'm creating a deck of From the Shadows Oracle. And I had this one card that I was placing as the as zero and then as one. And then I heard him tell me that it goes to 12 and the power of 12. And I'm like, the power of 12, what happened to my power of 3? Where did this go? And then I start to see an hourglass. So I seen the water, and I seen in my card it's the body floating with love in the water. And that sense of being reborn, baptismal, is what it represents for me, is that we arrive whole. We go through these experiences, and then this, you can baptize yourself. It's like you can wash away your day, you can wash away life. And now I've started seeing this hourglass, and I've been writing and writing and writing through this hourglass energy that I've been seeing. And because I don't go search and seek out all this information elsewhere, and I always say whatever is needed of me at the time, it will show up. And so the hourglass, and I couldn't understand it. And this morning I received a massive message that last February I was teaching an angel course, and I was very, very sick, and I mean very sick, deathly. And when coronavirus came out, I realized that I think I may have had coronavirus. And at the time, I had been in contact with a friend of mine who had just returned from in um, being away, and she came back sick, and then I ended up so sick, and it was within a day. And during that time, I still continued to work. I couldn't breathe. I didn't leave the house, so I stayed home, and I couldn't leave the house, and I was so sick, and it took me a long time to recover, a long time. And during it, as I was teaching, I'm like, I need to cancel tonight. I can't teach. And before class, I just had this overwhelming sense of panic, fear. And I know when that's happening, it's a channeled message. And I seen destruction, and I mean ultimate destruction. And then an angel landed. And this was last February. And it was Archangel Michael. And you may not believe in the angels, you may not believe in the guides. And, I didn't believe in a lot of shit previously, but that I've had to come to realize as I see it come to life, as I see it unfold, as I see my thoughts, my visions, my writings come through, including my book More Than Existing, as so much of what I've written in here, in my terms, based on my story, I'm seeing it come to life within my life now. And so as this was unfolding and he landed, I kept seeing guns going off and loud noise, what sound like guns, loud noises. Everything was dark and it was like catastrophic. And in this Italian-y voice, it's the only way I can describe it. It was old world voice, this old world Latin, Latin-y type of language, it seemed like. And then I could hear this Arabic type of Arabic music, like it was like I could hear this, and I kept seeing Israel, and then I kept seeing Europe, and I keep seeing all these places in Europe and this destruction and this, but I seen a sun and I seen the sunshine, and it was on these in the sand that was and I was being told it was Israel. And then as Archangel Michael landed, he just said it's going to be catastrophic. I'm here. And I just said to the students, I'm like, Archangel Michael has landed. And I don't know what's going down, and I don't want anyone to live in fear. Know that we will be okay. But we have something very catastrophic about to happen. And we're going to have to experience some real catastrophic energy. And I just thinking that as the weeks unfolded or the days unfolded after that, and all the things that had happened throughout had unfolded, and we experienced our time, our pandemic energy, and all this that's been happening, was I figured that must be it. That's it. But they haven't stopped, and they haven't left me alone with this. And so as Jesus is telling me today, and as I'm seeing it again, and I've seen it yesterday and the day before and day before and day before and day before, it talks about the power of 12. When I changed the card in my deck to 12, it went from 0 to 1 to 12, and I just heard it's 12. You have to make it 12. And as I was writing to this, it's like, and then I got told 12 tribes down to one, and it reduces down to one, it reduces down. And I just keep showing the hourglass as time has run out, and that the hourglass is the creation of life, and that as the you know as the sand has slipped through, and as it was slipping through, is that there's endings, and we have a lot of ending energy here, and there's the beginning of an end, there's the beginning of an end, and there's a big end that's coming, but we also have a new beginning about to start. And I hear a lot about what I've been hearing. The hourglasses show me is the sense of the glass, and what the glass represents is that we may try to hide everything within the human world, and we're doing a lot of hiding, disguising, hiding the lies, hiding, cheating, like anything that we keep trying to hide within ourselves, and we're trying to hide away in the world, or trying to pretend it's not happening. It's all being seen. We are being observed, and the observant energy outside of us is the archangels. It's the hierarchy. It's that energy that is outside of us. And I just feel like we've been in this time glass, we've been watching it, and life always has this sense of being resetting itself. And it almost scares me to speak, because I'm so afraid. I'm not afraid. No, I'm so not afraid. That's the wrong word. I'm so aware of how much we are being censored, monitored, and how much freedom we don't have, in the sense of being led to believe we have freedom, but we really don't. So it's like you really want to be, I really have to be cautious of the words, but I'm speaking from channel, which makes it very difficult. It is the same thing as people copywriting and claiming anyone from the angelic and spirit world, and putting their own title as if they are the only person to ever be allowed to communicate those messages from them. It is wrong, 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 in so many levels, that we have no right to lay claim. That's an ownership. It is an ego trip. And it's many voices. And what I'm being told, and Jesus tells me, is there's many voices. Today I am the chosen voice. And I operate from love and light, absolute love and light. I don't want to be involved in any type of conspiracy shit. And I just believe there's so much in. I'm not saying they're wrong. I'm just saying that there's so many things that are happening that nobody is seeing. That no matter what you're seeing, there's so much more happening. And we got this and we got that. And we have this story and we have that story. And then we have the energy of, can you stay out of the fear? And no matter which side, and if they tell you you're passing fear, like, oh, there's, this one is fear causing you to be afraid. So, well, so is that one. And what we're telling you is, don't be afraid. Know that during this time, there's a sense that there will be an ending. Will there be hurt? Will there be? It's like, yes. Um, and what we're saying is, don't be afraid of what we have to experience. We're here for that experience. Be more from a place of faith, hope, and be more from a place of just knowing that all time runs out on everything. Everything has some sort of expiry date. Everything. But what I'm being shown is there is death, destruction, but there's a new language. And if we power the language, if we make that our strength, if we learn to, if we make ourselves strong in that area, I feel as if we won't see so much. But we may have forgotten history, or we may be trying to forget history, or we may be trying to wipe it out. And we may be, but there's a lot of people who have not. And there's this sense of there is people who still want to repay, want us to pay pay back. And there wants to be a payback. So you still have vindictive energy out there. And vindictive energy can show up in the most beautiful faces. And this came to me in a writing that I was writing for my oracle cards. And as I'm writing through this, I wrote about one of the most beautiful faces I ever looked into and that I ever seen. And I compared myself even to like I wish I could have that body. You know, it's like, my God, she had such amazing body. She had such an amazing face, like absolutely stunningly beautiful. And such ugly came from that beauty, and such destruction, and a desire to destroy anybody in the path due to the fact that she was hurt, that there was anger, that there was something more. And that's the energy, is that we have not healed the hurts. And by band-aiding it and by covering it up and by pretending it's not there, we're still in this, we're still lying to ourselves. And that truth and honesty will come from full healing, and destruction will never ever, the full destruction of somebody else will never fix that hurt. We have to heal. And that means to go deep into the depths of our hurt, find the original source. What is the original pain? Ego is the original. And more than the fear story, there's a sense of entitlement. And so, what's coming up for me is that this year we have the opportunity to move beyond. And what I wrote was the hourglass. Time has run out, and we have failed in the faith. We have failed to hold strong to our faith and to hope. We have lost compassion and kindness. We have allowed control to rule the world, and we are still allowing control to rule the world. All humans are not alike, and we want to believe we are all alike. All humans are not alike, because some have been infused with enough hurt contamination that the evil is very alive. That we have the evil, that the evil is here now to make us repay the karma that did not end. And that is not God or Jesus. That is not them. If you think back to the original and to the fallen angels, those who were sent out of heaven because they couldn't play by the rules, the Lucifer energy. And that the Lucifer energy is very alive. And so what they wrote was, you are all about to see how much you really do need me. And it's not a threat, and it didn't come, you're just going to see how much you're going to need me. But you will have to remember, I abandoned nobody. Even after the cross moment, nobody was abandoned. I didn't turn a blind eye to the bad behavior, but I forgave. And the sense of forgiveness and understanding the ultimate level of forgiveness goes deep into the core of each and every one of us. Forgiving ourselves for thinking that we're more than, better than, that we have a right to mistreat, that we have that sense of entitlement, the world owes me something. And that sense of entitlement becomes a sense of destruction, and it destroys the parts of us that allows us to stay forward thinking, because it keeps us moving backwards. And we're here to create heaven on earth, the peace of being able to stop trying to prove ourselves in a world, or, that sense of when we reach heaven, and that heavenly sense of of leaving here, you don't have the worries, you don't have the anger, you don't have the frustration, you're not complaining. It's like all parts become in the light, and the sense of understanding that we were here to create that within our earth, within our self, but we also were here to be innovative and to be able to move forward, but that we are not all alike at this time. And there's a lot of there's lot of un unsettled energy that is showing up. And I wrote it as death, destruction, and language. So it's like the foundation of the empire has to be built on language and understanding that your most beautiful words and moments may be triggering people, just like the word God, Jesus. Those words of love trigger people, and it brings out the worst in people, but it also brings out the best. But we've been triggered by it because we're taught fear. We have been taught to hold on to that. The empires previous have held on to holding, entrapping people into faith by fear, by using our name, by using the name of God, the name of Jesus, as a fear story and not as a faith story without fear. And so now we're finding ourselves at a crucial, pivotal hour. We're at the hour of change. We're at the hour. 2021 is the hour. It's the moment, not the hour. It's the moment of change in the hourglass. It's that last piece of sand. It's like the last straw that broke the camel's back. The last little piece of sand is going to drop. And when it does, a lot will have to end. And when it ends, there is a new beginning. We have to turn it over and we have to start again. But the foundation of the hourglass was always strong. And the hourglass is the heaven and the earth. The middle, the bridge, the center, the cross, our hearts. Our hearts have two doors, one at the front, one at the back. This heart in the front, when we take off the locks and we open it, we allow in love, which makes us more willing to run on faith instead of fear. But we also start exuding it's a change of allowing love into us. And that love is unconditional love. And it is in the language, is in us not being triggered by the past, by fear of, by fear of words, by fear of thoughts, so that we don't feel a need to be having to re to get back at somebody, to hurt somebody, to harm somebody, to make somebody pay, because that is still out there, and it's larger than your own community. And the people that you are attacking, the people that where that energy is of your neighbors, your friends, your country, your province, whatever it may be, your town, your city, that's not the people. They are just pieces of sand. They are just pieces of sand. And this is much bigger than that. So much bigger than that. So as we start again, we have to be willing to come together. The hourglass is the creation of life. This out here that has been watching and observing is a part of the creation of life. That light is the same light that's inside of you. But when shadowed, when stuck, when hidden behind somebody's fear story or the fears of the past, it collides and collapses, and it reaches and seeks to something else that is in the dark because it makes it feel okay to stay in its story. The brilliance that is inside of each and every one of us is here to light us up, that it will be the brilliant, not the fear. It will be the brilliance and the faith that resets the world. And when we talk about this energy, when we talk about this change, I don't know what that word really means yet, but we've got a human connection to it in such a way that it's like bothersome. Bothersome. Where control thinks that it is going to control, I don't believe it is. What Jesus is telling me is that there is something more, and that that if one piece changes, if one part changes in this reset, all we need is one piece to fall into love. We only need one piece. So if each and every one of us becomes that one piece and we fall back into the heart, and then we allow the back door, because there's a back door. Everybody's been trying to rush through the front door. Everybody wants to be something. Everybody wants to be something special. But from the back door, if you open the back door, it's like looking into the backyard. How many people go to a house and you drive to the front and you look at the front, and there's these beautiful backyards that nobody looks at. Nobody even spends time out in their backyards anymore. Everybody is so afraid and so stuck inside of a house that we have this beautiful backyard. But when you have a family gathering of love, where does everybody go? To the back, right? But most of people see this, and we take the backyard as the sacred energy. So the sacred energy, the sacred of the heart, at the back, there is a back door. It's coming through the back door. Love is coming through the back door. It's coming from ultimate level of love, and it's from our soul self, from that piece of the light, from the piece of God that's inside of us. But it's also from the sense of of what we start allowing into ourselves, what we keep trying to give out, or what we expect the world to give to us. This back door of us, which is right where your angel wings is too, right where there's this nub, this righteousness to do the right thing for the right reasons, at the spine, beyond the spine, like through the spine is the spine of life. And if we break the back of our world, if we break the back, we are all paralyzed and crippled. And we are right now crippling each other. We are all stomping on the prime thing that we need right now. And so, what you're being told is that we cannot break the backbone. We cannot break that. But those false empires that are built on weak foundations of fear, of control, of that is going to crumble. And some of these big foundations, these big places, these big empires that think they are going to run the world are going to find out a new story of love. And I walk the middle road. And so this is a very hard place for me to sit. I feel like I'm sitting in deep punishment, like I'm sitting in in like um a weird energy to speak this truth. But I feel as if there's a sense that the I am, the Israel they're showing me, to speak the truth, to speak the truth. For the sun will rise and the sun will set. And as I start to write my fifth book, The Way Home to Me, I just changed it to, um, I just changed the title of the book, and it's the way. See, this is how much I don't even remember about what I do. The woman standing at the end. The woman standing at the end, and that's the book. And Jesus reminded me of my original name, and she's the shadow that I keep running from. She's the true self. Well, I've allowed, she's the shadows of me, the parts of me that I ran from, the fear of me, that what if she wasn't powerful or strong enough? And I tell the story through my name. My name is Corrie, but my original name, my birth name, the name that I never used because no one ever called me by it. It's the story, and that's our lives. We and so I'm triggered by that, by my original name. We are always being triggered by that name of God, by Jesus, by a fear of the fear to speak from that place. We are triggered by the word love. We're triggered by the word compassion, kindness, and what it's going to entail if I have to show love to my enemy, if I have to show compassion, if I have to be kind, if I have to be that for everyone else. And then when we start to create a narrative story of what kind of human we're going to be that for each other. It didn't say you have to start kissing ass. It means we don't be so cruel to each other. When I seen cruel through beauty, and then I seen hurt, and when I could see my own reflection in there, I realized the places in my life that I was cold, that I was cruel. And why was I? What was I afraid of? And the fear stories that come with this. So as the 12 reduces down, it reduces to 1. And when it reduced down to 1, the one last piece to fall into place is for Jesus to arrive, for God to arrive, for the new language to arrive. Do you know what those words mean? Love. For love to arise, for compassion. And with this sense that we are only here now to be a voice of love, to transmute all fear to love, that the hourglass has a few pieces left. And when the one last piece falls, love falls into our heart. Because at the center of that hourglass is love. When love falls into our hearts, and then love drops down into the other world, then, and only then, will we be ready to restart. And until love drops in, we will be in the dark. So that we can learn to have faith in the dark. So that we can face our deepest, darkest parts of ourselves, to look at our contributing roles that we play as a society of manipulation, of control, of believing that all humans are alike, and that we have to open our door to everything. Would you open the doors to your house and let everything come in, including the shrews, including the rats, including the mice? They're God's creatures. Would you let them in your house? Or would they be doing too much destruction to the internal of you? This is where we can have love, kindness, and compassion, but we can protect what is ours with love. Because from the back door, what's coming into our hearts is we have to fill and fuel and heal who we are as a human race. And then we can give this out for the world. The hour is here. We're in the hour. We're in the last hours. And that could take 100 years. Divine doesn't connect us to time. What I seen last February, I believe we will see unfold this year. And with the creation also became the great flood. And so the great flood is what they're showing me. Big waves. But as waves come in, waves will go out. But we will all be needed to come together, to show love, to be kind. So whatever we do in the times of when we are darkened out, when we are shushed up, know that that's going to be temporary, because we will be needed. And these voices will matter. But can you allow the voice to be a voice of love in our silence, in our stillness? This beautiful energy of love, the movement of love. And my More Than Existing program was called More Than Existing because I was tired of just existing here in this world. It's a movement. And I don't make up the titles. They're all given to me. All this stuff is given to me. And I patiently waited 12 years for this book to come out, for it to be fully created. Archangel Michael has landed, as has the other archangels. We need the ascended masters. We need the archangels. And we need to know that we cannot do this alone, that we need the ultimate level of love to light our way. And whatever I see taking place in Europe, whatever that is, I send love. But we have January, and it was, I don't know, January to something. We have January, and we have to get through January, and then we have a lot going down in January. There's a lot of energy in January, but this is when you're going to see um, the sense of the worst of humanity somehow as well, even within some of the people that got beautiful faces or seem as if they have beautiful hearts. My recommendation to all spiritual healers is to stay in the middle. Walk the line of love right now. And I mean deep love, unconditional love. And as we see this hourglass getting ready to turn, that we know that all endings bring about new beginnings. And that we now have to use the new language as the foundation. And that we cannot allow the glass to break. If we break the back, if we break the backbone, we will be a lot longer recovering, a lot longer coming back together. And where's their hope? Where's their loving message in here? In the words of love. In finding and creating a sense of heaven on earth within yourself. Peace, freedom, liberty, contentment. If tomorrow has to be my last day, or if tonight has to be my last day, if this year has to be my last year, then I make peace with all. And I make peace with all else that has happened. And I make peace with myself. And I allow whatever shall be within my heart. But if this is my last days, if I could do one thing right, that is return home and sit in the place of love. We've all been so far away, and the moments are upon us. And we don't know time, but we know moments. And what you do in these moments now matters. What you do in each and every moment is an opportunity to do something better, to be a better human than you were yesterday, one better than you were the day before, and be the best that you can be. And to just know that even in the darkness there is light. And that the woman standing at the end, the man standing at the end, see yourself standing at the end. See yourself standing in the light. See yourself here. Because if they had to have taught us faith without fear, we would have been a better world. And what I'm being told is so that there's no trigger to the words of God, Jesus, of the angels, whatever you want to call them. Call them strength, love. Just call them God. Just call God love. Whatever it may be. That it is no longer an attachment to the fear story that has held us captive for too many years. That we are not here to be the judgment. And we are not here to judge anybody. We are here to learn, to love, to accept, to know that there's not just one who is chosen. There is many, 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 many chosen to speak the word of love. And if we all start changing that language, the new beginning will look a whole lot more beautiful. As the angels now bless us, protect us, as we are giving the blessing of Jesus and the beautiful God energy, I wish you all love. Much, much love. And know that yes, by the end of the year, we will be seeing some beautiful energy, but we have a lot of moving forward to do. We have a lot of growth to do. And we have a lot of beauty to see. You have to see the beauty. Look in the backyard. Start looking in the back. Start looking in the backyard. Look at all that you have done that has been right. Look at all that we have done in the world that has been right, and not picking out all the things that we have done wrong. But know that everything has been seen, observed, because it hasn't been kept as secret as what you think it has. But what have you done right? What have you done well? Start seeing the good in yourself so that you can start seeing the good in the world. Start lighting up your life with loving conversations and talking to yourself with such love that then when this door swings open, the first thing we do is we radiate love and start opening back up. Start opening the doors. Start letting life live again. Let's start there. So look at your life, look at the good things, and look at the blessings. And that new language of love will start powering us up now. We will not have to face the same energy, the same story that could possibly be if we continue to stay in the anger and the fear. Shift your energy. I would say I'm moving to the woods, and not because I don't like this world that I live in around me, but because I want to breathe the air. I want to sit with the rooted and the grounded of the beautiful trees, to hear the birds sing, to sit in that kind of peace, because my mission, my life, is to create my heaven on earth. And with or without the world's cooperation, I'm going to find it. And I'm seeking it. And I'm moving beyond all that is triggering us to be controlled. Much love to you all. Please stay with me. There's a few crazy messages shows up every now and then. I never know how they're coming, but thank you all, and much love to all.